Hello and welcome to Hobby Hangout. We just all listened to that cool music.
Yeah, it's
Da, da, da,
it's
da.
a bop.
Now I know it's Thursday.
Yeah.
I
Welcome
feel
to
like
Hobby
we.
Hangout. This is where we paint miniatures. Sorry, Gretchen, cutting you
I
off.
was saying, I feel like we need like an actual painting jam.
Someone who is good at music, write us a painting jam. And I will include it. Here at Hobby Hangout, we talk about miniatures, miniature painting. My name is Leona. I'm one of the editors of Game Trade Media, and we also have Dave, Taylor, and Gretchen, the hosts of Painting Happy Little Minis. Thank you all for joining and joining us on this Thursday where we paint and also have shenanigans, like talking about our theme music.
I must admit, I'm a little bit disappointed this week that we're just hosts this week.
Oh,
No,
you're
not stars.
stars.
We're downgraded.
No longer stars in their eyes.
So last week I said that David and Gretchen were the stars of our lives, actually, which still rings true, I believe. So again, in the comments below, type in, call in, and let us know that Dave and Gretchen are the stars of your heart.
You die. There we go.
Just
Let
right.
us know your favorite star-studded moments.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
I just wanted to say a quick hello to our friends who are watching in the chat. Hello to Michael Harris. Hello to Dave Moffat and Kat Swift. Hello.
Hello.
And Kat says, Dave dancing, not something I will get out of my brain soon.
You are welcome, Pat.
every time you lie down to fall asleep at night, it's just Dave dancing.
And Mike Becker says, good afternoon all as well. We'll dance some more. And someone on Facebook says, they make me dreamy-eyed for sure. The stars. So if you're watching through our Facebook group, make sure that you allow StreamYard to access your profile, and then I'll be able to see your picture and your name, and that will show up in the comments below. So we are streaming on multiple platforms. If you guys like miniature painting and our discussion, be sure to share this with your friends so that they can join and be part of the conversation. So what are we all painting today? Who would like to go first?
Gretchen.
Always. Dave's just like always, just like Gretchen first. So I have my dragon from last time. I'm gonna finish up that nice jade green kind of base coat, and then I'm gonna throw Dave back under the bus. And we're gonna talk about how to make this look like it has emeralds, like it's made of emeralds.
Right.
A little bit like we spoke about last time. So we're gonna figure some things out. We're gonna learn together.
Woohoo! and what colors did you end up using for?
So I am using a mix. I'm using a half and half, like straight, like 50-50 mix of jade green, right here. All right.
Yeah.
And the Vallejo, dark sea blue.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a peacock color, like a teal-ish almost, but still more green based, and a very middle of the road kind of green for the base coat. That way, when we start getting into shadows and highlights, to really make it look like a sparkling emerald dragon gemstone creature, hopefully it'll work out really good for that. So
Awesome. That is super cool. I enjoy that. Also, hello to some people who have joined us in the chat. Hello to Roger Moore. And Roger Moore also says, so Kat, we're talking about Dave's dancing and not the hair today. Oh, and I like this. David says, dancing with the hobby stars. It's a new show. New show.
I can kind of dance. I took like 3 ballroom dance. I fake it till I make it.
Also, hello to our friend in YouTube. Hello to Michael Bruce. Hello to Hulk. And hello to Matthew. thank you all for joining. Oh, and also hello to James.
Quite a few today.
And Mark Banner. Their comments are just coming in.
Yes.
Hello to everyone. Thank you all for watching and joining us. I wanted to say, so Gretchen just showed us her emerald dragon, and on YouTube I did a little funny thing where I made a what's it called?
Video.
Video. I made a poll. I made a poll for your dragon's name.
Oh, we're gonna name it? I had no idea.
Yeah, we're going to name this dragon.
Excellent.
And let's see if I can zoom in here. So what should the name of Gretchen's miniature gem dragon be? I put Emerald O. Just as a funny.
Emeraldo. That's too many consonants. Can you tell that I had trouble learning Spanish?
Jalderar, which I found online, and also Cinna. And then our dear friend Eddie, let's see if I can bring this up, said, write in for Greeny O'Green.
Greeny O'Green.
So we had 6 people who voted, and 50% of them said Emeraldo.
Emeraldo it is. I like it.
Wait, Gretchen, if you and I choose one of the others, we'll like the second one.
We'll mess it up just immediately.
So my question for people in the chat is, what should the name of Gretchen's emerald dragon be? Emeraldo is on the table, apparently. And
it's fine.
On our YouTube channel, sometimes I try and do fun things like that. So if you're not following us on YouTube, you definitely should, because I try to post things like that, little funnies. If you have any ideas for a name, please put them in the chat as we continue forward. Also, so Dave, what are you painting today?
I am painting a well, basically, as I came to the conclusion, or finished painting my Chaos Knights last week, over the weekend. I haven't done the bases yet. I've got to go to the store and pick up some paints. But once I finish the bases, I'll show everybody. But moving some stuff around on my desk, I uncovered a miniature that I assembled and primed probably about a year ago. And I thought I should finish that. And it's
is that a picture of it?
That's a picture of it. So yeah, the one. These are a unit for 140,000 for the Genestealer Cults army. On the right-hand side there is one that I painted probably about a year ago. It's an Atlan Jackal is the name of the unit. And the one that I'm working on is the character for them, which is the Jackal Alphys. So it's she's a character that rides around on the bike, finds a good sort of overlook spot, and pulls out her sniper rifle, blinking away. So,
nice.
And rotates quickly on the bike. But yeah, so I primed it gray and just working through. I've done shading on all of the gray areas. I've gone back and highlighted those gray areas, and now I'm working on the lighter sort of ivory-colored armor now.
So she'll have a similar color scheme to this with the light plates. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Sure. So excited to be finally painting this up.
Nice. It's the desk of opportunity.
The desk of opportunity.
I have to clean out my car before I get rid of it, and I have tons of unpainted minis in my car.
Hey, bring them in. Make them part of the show.
A couple of them. I know I have velociraptors that a friend gifted me, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
I am, if anyone is interested, I am working on. I'm working still on what's her face, Brienne of Tarth from A Song of Ice and Fire, and I realized that she has a ton of armor, so I was painting that before we actually started the show. It's not zooming in on her. It's fine. And maybe I should try some non-metallic metals, but maybe I won't. I haven't decided that. I still need to go back in and maybe do another coat of the gray. So
we can learn together today, Leona. If I get to the gemstone portion and you get to the non-metallic metals, it'll be an experience that we are sharing with others.
yes.
And my head will explode.
Learning
She
together.
This is a good card, honestly, for her. So it gives you some good like light without me having to like go find reference. So maybe I will. But we shall see. For those of you who are watching, let us know what you guys are painting currently. What are some of your current works in progress, or even what are some of your finished projects? Because it's always nice to hear about what people have been able to complete over the course of the past couple months in quarantine and such.
Speaking of quarantines, I'm on the end of week 1 of quarantine from my trip to Florida. If you remember, we did a speed run into the heart of Corona.
Country.
Corona country. It was literally, guys, as we drove into Florida, they on the news, they were like, oh, the cases have reached 9,000, and we were like, oh, it's fine.
Wunderbar.
But I was able to get my kitten.
Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in on that. A kitten.
He's sleepy right now. All he's doing is growing. He's big. He's like, as you can see, he's a big size kitten. He's a Maine Coon, and he's 11 and a half, 12 weeks now. So he's going to get giant.
He's so cute. And what did you end up naming him?
I ended up naming him Calcifer. It almost went with Smog, but his personality was so laid back and just not about the... I mean, he has kitten mischief, obviously, but he wasn't very... Smog-like or dragon-like in nature. He was much more sassy. So
gotcha. Thank you for sharing him with us.
Here, Mark. He's as big as my full-size cat. He's in fact as big as my previous cat. And he still has all his kitten fur. So he is going to be a very big boy. Oh, look, just finished watching Howl's Moving Castle before the show. Yes, he's named after Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle, because I'm a nerd.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, his dad is from Poland and is a giant, very giant cat. So I expect him to also get very big.
Cool.
We have a question for Dave in the chat. Mike Becker asks, suggestions on painting Cities of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Party colored with contrast or glasses? Partial colored? Is that what?
Like multicolored, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Or
I'm thinking party like.
Yeah, not like that. But no, like it's like quartered, or sometimes you'll see in sort of Italian Renaissance uniforms, or not necessarily uniforms, but outfits might be blue, red, yellow, blue, red, yellow.
Like the Lens Connect, kind of.
Lens Connect kind of thing. Blue, red, and yellow are the Swiss Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think my general approach for that, Mike, would be to start with the lightest color. Right? Prime everything white. Start with the lightest color. If you're using a yellow, use one of the contrast paints and do it over there. So let's say you were doing yellow, red, blue. I'd go with contrast yellow, then the contrast red, like Blood Angels red, and then I would probably paint the blue on and highlight that. That would be my kind of approach. But yeah, always start with the lightest first and work to the darkest, because it's easier to paint the dark over the light than it is the light over the dark. Oh, there we go.
Nice. In terms of names for your dragon, 𝙂𝙧𝙞, which is still on the table if anyone wants to put more names in. David Moffat says Emeraldo has a good ring to it. Chris says Emerald Legacy. And David was asking, is it going to be good or evil?
I don't know.
Definitely, I agree, changes the name.
I'm just wondering if that's if David Conrad's question there is about the dragon or the cat.
Oh, it was about the dragon, but the cat. That question still stands for the cat. Is it good or evil?
The cat's very good. He's a good baby. He's excellent. The dragon, I don't know. I typically, like, I'm the kind of person where I just paint ideas because I'm like, oh, this sounds like a good thing to paint. And then afterwards is when I start thinking of how I can use it in a campaign.
So you don't initially think of the morality of your miniatures?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm just like, we'll find out what this when it's done. I'm sure it will have a vibe, and we'll see. But also, like, I have quite a few minis right now that don't belong to campaigns or anything, where I'll probably end up either creating a campaign for them and GM. I still haven't GM'd for the first time. I'm like, I want to do it so bad. But also, all of my friends are away, and I feel like that's something, like, first time DMing something, I want it to be in person.
Yeah.
But I also have plenty of friends who play different tabletops on the regular so often that, like, I'm like, you can take a mini and use it for that. You can, like.
Cool.
In terms of what people are painting, Roger Moore said he's painting The Legend of Drizzt, War of the Worlds, and a token mini from the game Valhalla. And David Moffat is in a 31-day painting challenge, which he did mention last week. And he's live streaming for those 31 days, working on a set of 10 older Terminators, some dating back to the Space Hulk 2nd edition.
Excellent. I hope you're not like live streaming 24/7 for 31 days. That would be somewhat extreme. Extreme stream. Extreme.
Dave did have his coffee today.
I did.
Dave, don't put David in a box. He can be extreme if he wants
to. Yeah, no, that's cool. Good work.
David Conrad says he's painting Black Seas ships.
Okay.
And this is not a test minis. Wait, is that what you were just... Is that what your friend...
Earlier on, Joey? Yeah. Yep. How about that?
Okay, so just so you guys know, right before the show, Dave and I were literally talking about this is not a test because Dave is friends with the writer.
Joey.
You can tell us a little bit more about that, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I was telling you about, so I popped down to Games and Stuff on Sunday to grab some paints and also pick up some terrain and miniatures from Joey Maguire, the author of This Is Not a Test, and so that I can take some photos for his next supplement, which is called They Came from the Wastes, which is all about cool and crazy behemoths, or as I like to say, behemoths.
Behemoth. So yeah, that's just kind of funny because we were literally just talking about that.
Yep. I think David knows Joey.
Oh, awesome. Very cool.
Great job.
Kat says that she's since my terrain commissions are lockdown paused, I have gone to the dark side. A bunch of minis and Vallejo paints ordered and on their way. I blame Dave, Kat says.
Blame him.
Feel free to blame me. Excellent. Good to hear, Kat.
James is working on a Trimaran 3 hull boat. Trimaran 3 hull boat that is 18 by 22 inches and 7 decks high.
Oh my goodness.
Woo-hoo.
That's crazy. I wonder, is that a 18 by 22. That's almost big enough to play a game on top of. Is that I think I can't remember if it's the Chinese or the Koreans or the Japanese used to have enormous trimarans. All right.
Do you want me to look it up?
No, that's cool.
Okay. James, let us know if you're a history buff.
Is it a history thing? It sounds like a history thing.
Mark says that metals are good and colors are evil in terms of the dragon.
What would a gemstone be?
Mark, let us know. What is a gemstone? Is that
does that mean he just does what he wants?
Because
That's almost scarier.
We've created a new category called Gemstone Dragon. And
that sounds like something I would create.
I'm not sure that we created it.
It's kind of like Steven Universe. So
I feel like that's like a very neutral thing, and I feel like neutral dragons are scarier because they're not swayed one way or another. It's purely up to your characters to to deal with that.
Yes. And somebody's going to put a persuasion check, right?
I did a very fun persuasion check on a dragon once as I was playing a young dwarf.
Yep.
And the character was an adolescent and was like, I think she was a warlock. It was a very long time ago. And she was the youngest person in our campaign. We had all been traveling to the market, and my character was going to market to get something for her parents or something. And then we ended up all in this kind of like dungeon crawl, one-off situation thing. But the dragon that we came across was also an adolescent dragon. And my character was the only character who could pass all of the persuasion and charisma checks to talk to the dragon and not have us die. The DM at the time was very, very amused because I kept getting nat 20s for pretty much everything. And every time a different character tried to talk to the dragon, it just was just ones, like ones, twos, nothing good. And then I would like assist. I'd be like, oh, it's fine. I got this, guys.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was a funny time.
That's cool.
Oh, also David says Joey has a couple too many friends named Dave.
Maybe indeed.
Which I can appreciate because there are a lot of people named Dave / David. Y'all need to just be Dave 1, 2, 3, 4. Just joking.
We just renamed them in high school and college. We had too many Michaels, and in college we just renamed one Squiggles. That was just his name. He was just Squiggles from then on.
In high school I was Dave 2.
That's amazing.
We also had too many Ryans, and so one of them was named Freshman. And the nickname stuck so strongly that even in his senior year of high school and well into college, anyone who had known him in high school, any teachers, anything like that, called him Freshman.
Excellent.
That's funny.
Oh, he hated it.
Yeah, I could, yeah.
He's like, that's not my name. And we're like, dude, well, you should have called dibs. We're bratty high schoolers.
Oh, high schoolers. Chris says, I'm working on finalizing the upcoming release for This Is Not a Test, supporting new releases from Bombshell Miniatures.
Oh, cool. Very good. Bombshell is Patrick Keith out of Texas. Does some fantastic sculpting.
Wait, is this the Chris who wrote This Is Not a Test?
No.
Oh, okay. That's a John.
Joey. Chris has written stuff. Has actually written stuff for This Is Not a Test.
Oh, awesome! That's very cool. It's a small world, this miniatures world. It's literally a small.
I don't know everybody. I'm telling you, not everybody.
I forget that I know people that know other people.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny.
And then I'm like, no.
Also, hello, Graham. Thank you for joining.
Hey, Graham.
Oh, apparently for the boat that we were talking about, James says that all the decks are usable inside too.
Oh wow. Okay. So
That's cool.
I wonder then is it for role playing or what? Curious.
Is it for what?
I wonder if it's for role playing.
Ah.
Ship.
Mike Becker says gem dragons were traditionally neutral.
Oh,
which, as you said, is a hard thing for a dragon. I mean, for the party.
I like it more. Give me the challenge.
And David says, name the dragon Jadeite the neutral as green gemstone, jade, Jadeite. I like that.
Do you like it better than
maybe if it turns out good? I know I was talking last time. Maybe if it turns out good, I'll just do a giveaway, and then a person can actually like name it themselves. If it turns out awful, we'll pretend it never happened.
Awesome.
I've never painted gemstones before, guys. We're learning together. It's a pretty right now.
What were some of the tips, Dave, that you had said, like if you had wanted to paint gemstones?
You see, I last week I jumped up and I was going to grab a model. I ran to where what the models were and I couldn't find them. And then after the show, I ran them through another area where I thought they were, and then another area, and then another area, and they weren't in any of those places. But I did eventually find them. They were sitting just up there.
Oh.
So I will go and get them. Basically, I've got some of the Dragiri models from the old Simon game called Dark Age.
Do you hear barking?
I do. I think everybody hears the bark. That's everywhere.
Sorry, that's from my house.
It's not mine. My dog gives big boofs.
Sorry, everyone. That's a dog.
So I will. I'm just gonna take my leave for a second, and I'm gonna go and grab.
Okay, Dave's gonna go get those minis.
Because I would have brought.
I
completely forgot. Sorry.
It's all good. Our friend says we have too many Igors because of Frankenstein. I can appreciate that. Right. And then Mike G says there are too many Mikes, so we end up just using the last initial to differentiate ourselves. That's fair. Oh, and Dave, the boat was for an RPG game.
Okay,
if
cool.
he comes back. Yeah. Oh, and Kat says in clans, the firstborns are always named after their grandparents. So every generation has too many Daves, Johns, and Daniels.
That's funny.
Oh, and apparently that boat is a custom miniature, all made of wood.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
And then Hulk says, haha, doggos. Yeah, sorry, everyone. You know, we stream from our house, so sometimes just life is happening, you know?
I'm surprised my dog actually hasn't boofed at anything. I think I've gotten lucky with like mail and whatnot, just not showing up at the right times when we're streaming.
Yeah, it actually might be a package that I ordered. So anyway, Dave is back. Oh, are you going to take a picture for us? Okay.
Yeah, because I'm almost done with this base coat. Like I am cruising.
You're totally. I know.
Okay, well, I have a question.
Yep.
So I was trying non-metallic metal, and the thing is, oh, come on, please zoom.
Yep.
Please focus. Why isn't focusing? Should I do it right along Should I do it right along here?
Yeah.
Should I do it where the light is hitting? Because I realized I did it where the light is hitting in the picture, and I don't know if that really works in real life. Like looking at the miniature in real life, I feel like I need to do it on that line?
I would do it on both. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because what you've got there is that point where at the front of the breastplate there,
Yeah,
it comes up and there is a ridge. It's not, it doesn't go like this. It doesn't come together like that. It comes together like kind of like that.
right, like bowed out a little bit.
Yeah, it has a little thing which is going to catch the light as well as that arc that you've got around there. So yeah, I'd do both.
Oh, also David Conrad says, gotta go back to work. Take care. Thank you for joining us.
Bye, David.
See ya.
Okay.
All right.
There we go. Oh, sorry. I wasn't thinking. I just sent it to Leona. I should have sent it to Gretchen as well. And I'll do that now.
All right. This guy go here. Stay. Don't fall over.
All right, so we were talking about gems. We're talking about tips and tricks for gems. And this is the picture that Dave had sent to me.
If you can zoom in on that.
Yes.
Ah.
Which, oh, like these?
So, yeah, these guys have, if you can go back over to the one on the left. Yeah.
Oh.
So he's got crystals embedded in his armor at the top there. And he has swords that are essentially made out of ice.
Okay.
But the swords and the crystals at the top are kind of a very, very quick way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And the swords are a little bit more in an involved way. But it gives you an idea there of if you have the facets of the crystal, you're going to have some that are that are pointing up towards the light, whatever your light source is, wherever it's coming from, and they're going to be very bright. They're going to be almost white. But then, sort of immediately next to it, there'll be a facet that doesn't catch as much light on that edge, and you can go with that darker. In this case, I went with darker blue. If you're doing like an emerald, you go with darker green, and you can fade that through to a lighter sort of aspect. So a lot of it's just working out where the light's going to hit, where it's going to enter the crystal, and how it's going to move around once it's sort of in the crystal. When we talk about doing gemstones, which are, if you're talking about doing circular gemstones or oval-shaped gemstones that are smooth,
Okay.
what you'll typically see is that they'll be darker at the top and lighter at the bottom, and there might be like a little dot of white at the top. Where the darker, let's say it's a dark blue, there'll be a little dot of white in there, and that sort of shows you where the light is entering the crystal. The light's also reflecting at that little dot, but once it enters the crystal or the gem, it sort of pools around the bottom. It's kind of strange to talk about it in terms of gravity affecting light, but that's kind of how it ends up bouncing around and diffusing in the bottom ends of the.
We're gonna try this. I'm also gonna Pinterest some references.
Yeah. Yep.
So I have a visual to go with it as well.
Yep. But the guy on the right there, he so as I said, these are Ďrgýry from Dark Age, and in the background, the Ďrgýry, the one on the left is from the Ice Cast or Caste, and
Okay.
So there's ice, fire, shadow, and earth are the four Ks. This guy here was once a member of the fire caste, and he was
This guy?
Yep. He was actually thrown down a sort of a crevasse by a rival who wanted to sort of take over. So it threw him down, and everybody assumed that he died because he fell like several miles into the planet. But basically, on his way down, he struck a lot of different crystal outcrops, and they were embedded in his flesh.
Oh.
And kind of as over the years, like decades, he sort of slowly recovered and clawed his way back to the surface. And that's why he's got the sort of reds and yellows and greens and blues and purples through that thing.
That's
look.
cool.
All right.
In the thing there, we've got in the chat, the Facebook user saying, I find inks work well for gems and then highlight, adding more ink to dark areas. Yeah, that's a great way to do it. So if you start off with a white base coat or a very, very light base coat, you can use inks to wash over those. Another cool thing about that is that sometimes, the time the inks will give you a kind of a glossy finish. So
I do have some
another
gloss.
advantage.
So we can always play with that too.
You have gloss?
I do. Well, I have a glaze. I have a glaze medium.
Okay.
Glaze medium. I have contrast paints, which can act as a wash. And then I also have the shifters that you added as well.
Cool.
So I'm not gonna go the instant sparkle route at first though. I want to really attempt to get those highlights and shadows in there, because I think that's going to be a much more effective outcome if I can get it right, to have that really heightened contrast.
Yeah.
I
I agree. It's going to read. I think it's going to read a lot better as crystal. You go with that high contrast kind of look.
If I stop accidentally touching the wet parts of this dragon. I already have like teal on my fingers.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
Dry faster, dragon. Gotta find out where I put the base for this guy too. Turn him this way.
With your Brianna path and the non-metallic metals there, Leona,
Yes.
how are you doing? Are you just trying to get a very smooth appearance to it all, or are you using doing it like directional lines kind of thing?
I was using lines.
Cool. Can you have you got there? You can show us again.
This picture?
Yep. So if you can put that nice close. Yeah, I think you're gonna get a very strong feel if you're using directional lines sort of across the grain of the light. Is that the way you've been working with it?
No, I was working vertical.
So you were sort of following the flow of the line.
Yeah, the light.
Right. I'd suggest working in little hash marks across.
I don't know if you... Okay. Can sort of see.
Yep. Cool.
Hulk Reality says you might need to get a fan to dry your minis off faster. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
I have a fan. I don't think I actually have a fan currently. I have like above overhead fans.
Yep.
I would have to go find one.
I think I mentioned before that sometimes since we've all been sort of locked down, I went through. I've been doing Friday night hobby hangout sessions with some friends of mine across the country, and there are a couple of them that have hair dryers next to their hobby tables. And
I do have a hair dryer.
Yeah, you were sitting there talking away, and then somebody will forget to mute their microphone, and
Oh yeah, that's what Mike Becker says.
Yep, there we go. And they're perfect if you mute your mic. Don't mute your mic. It's a little bit annoying. Okay.
What's a little hair dryer noise?
Noise amongst friends. Okay. Just painting a little fuel can on the back of the bike there.
Oh, nice. Oh, they're terrible for drying contrast paints, though.
Right. Yep.
Oh, it's too thin. It probably does the same as what it does to watercolor.
It just blows them away.
They're all around the place.
Noise.
I didn't think about that. You're like, now I'm going to dry my contrast. Hulk asks you, Dave, what set is that for? 40K?
The one that I'm painting at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
it's from 40K. It's from the Gene Stealer Cult army, and it's a Jackal Alphus, so ALFPHUS. Very cool, sort of dirt bike model. It's really neat. I can go along and because my color scheme is fairly desaturated, the bone plates and the grays and the blacks and the browns, putting in a little pop of yellow like this fuel can is pretty cool. And of course, I can go along and do a little bit of chipping on there as well to dull it back down. Yeah. So cool.
Would you guys like to look at some miniatures?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that we did that.
Yeah, sometimes we do that, Dave.
So each week, I pull miniatures from the Painting Happy Little Minis group. Painting Happy Little Minis group on Facebook is where you can go, join up, share your pictures, share questions that you might have, ask questions, and even share answers if you know what people, answer. And it's a great place just to kind of connect with different mini painters and see what everybody else is painting. So throughout the week, people will be posting, and then I take the miniatures from that page. So if you're not already joined, definitely head over to Facebook and join us there. Or if you don't have a Facebook, feel free to tag Game Trade Media on Twitter or Instagram, and I will collect the photos from there as well. So here is our first one for today. I realized I actually collected quite a few, so we might try and break this up into 2 batches. But we have Chris Hood with the pirate crewman and bomber.
Excellent. Very nice. That looks cool.
I like the little blue sash. It breaks up the yellow very nicely.
Yeah, I think I'm wondering. I think that's the like the bottom part of the
tunic.
The yellow tunic. Yeah.
It could be the bottom part of the yellow tunic. It's around his waist, so I instantly was just like, "It's a sash."
Yeah. No, it looks great. Cool. Very nice. Good work, Chris.
Then we have Jeff with the Munchkin Dungeon by Simon and Steve Jackson Games. Which I didn't realize they had miniatures for that, so that was kind of cool.
I didn't think they had miniatures at all.
I think this has just recently been arriving to Kickstarter backers, or possibly arriving into retail. But
gotcha.
Yeah, these all look really cool, don't they?
That makes a bit more sense. Yeah, these look awesome. I love them.
Just done a great job on that sort of cartoony feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice.
And outlining the eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that outline in there, looking good. Excellent work, Jeff. Nice one.
We have Laura with Marvel Crisis Protocol, Black Widow.
Excellent.
I really like Laura painted up a couple other superheroes, which I just forget who they were.
Right.
But they exist somewhere, so it's fine.
They're in the group, so honestly, if you're part of the group, make sure you head over and check them out, because all of them were really good. But I like the job that she did on the Black Widow.
Yeah, no, this is great. Laura's done an excellent job here. Much like with the when we were looking at that piece of artwork of Brienne of Tarth, you've got that the highlights on the sort of on her right leg there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Screen, and then up on her around her shoulder and down onto her chest.
Yeah.
They're kind of it's a similar kind of approach to get that contrast, but this is to show sort of more of a satin kind of finish. So rather, it's not as extreme as on Brienne's armor, but
gotcha.
It's much more muted and smoother. And Laura's done an awesome job of making that look like.
It looks like leather because of it.
Cloth, yeah.
So they can sort of that sort of leather vinyl kind of suit that she's wearing. But it looks great. Awesome work, Laura.
We have Garrett with Happy Evil Space Elves.
Yes. So these are Dark Eldar from Warhammer 40,000.
I like how the fashion just gets more dramatic. Like you go from elves, which are already dramatic, to space, which is also dramatic. And when you combine them, it just creates so much.
When you add the evil element of them to the it just takes it over the top. These models are actually from 1997 or 1998, I think, from the 3rd edition box set for Warhammer 40,000. At the moment, Games Workshop's gearing up for their release of 9th edition of Warhammer 40,000. So there's a lot of people who sort of diving back into their old collections and bringing them out and reworking. But these are looking really very cool. Really loving the green up in those sort of vials on the weapons. These are, I think the weapon's called, the one at the front is a splinter cannon, and the other guys got splinter rifles. So I think they're all poisoned slivers of something nasty.
Ah, poison.
Poison.
Poison. We have Michael Bull with Rob Stark from A Song of Ice and Fire miniatures game.
Excellent. Yep, this is looking really good. I think you've done a great job on the face there, Michael. Looks really nice. And I think the cloak is something I'm really like the look of that in the. It's just that little sliver that I can see to the right of his sword there. That looks really neat. That's the one. But no, excellent work.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yep.
Michael Gonzalez with Snakebite Orcs with chromalic heads and bodies.
And some Slan weapons and Beastman kits. Beastman bits.
Yeah, I wanted.
Michael, these are from a whole bunch of different places. But yeah, they give the Snakebite Orcs are very feral by nature, and by giving them these different weapons and masks and accessories, they've got a very feral forest kind of feel.
Okay.
But they're looking very cool. I think the so see the guy on the left and also the guy that's holding the banner or the standard.
Okay.
Those heads, I think, are from drums, if I'm not wrong. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I see it.
Big skulls that are turned into drums, and then they've been turned back into skulls that people are wearing as helmets. But yeah, these are looking good. I like the nice yellow and red there as well. Great sort of saturated colors to go against that green and the browns and the blacks. Nice work, Michael.
Good job.
Looking good.
Keith with a CIS tank, Star Wars Legion.
Star Wars Legion. So this is one from the Trade Federation, or the robot tanks. This is looking really good.
Do I spy? Is this on purpose? This like grime here?
I don't know. Zoom in a little bit closer.
Okay. Because there's also it here too.
Yeah.
And there's some staining. So
yeah, that's looking
like
very
there's
cool.
some really cool.
Yep. Yeah, there are definitely parts there where it's either suffered some damage or it's got some leaks going on. But yeah, that's really nice. Anything that adds that extra sort of depth, both a visual depth and a story depth. Cool. I love the colors too, and I really like those the stripes, rather than it being like bright white stripes or anything like that. Just that that lighter green is working nicely.
I agree. Also, Mike says those were drums. You were correct. I decided they would make good helmets.
Yep. No, they look great. Nice work, Mike.
We have Chris Gorka with a Galactic Marine.
Yeah, this looks super cool. Very nice. I think I could be mistaken, but I think Chris had some miniatures shown on the on Games Workshop's or Warhammer TV Live, their hobby roundup show.
Oh, awesome!
They go through and they do a similar sort of thing to what we do here, but
we do it cooler.
What's that? What, cooler?
She said we do it cooler.
We do, yeah, for sure. Way better, but no. But they, of course, there it's just focused on Games Workshop products. But so we've got a bit of everything. But yeah, this is looking really good, Chris. I think I'm really liking just that combination of the sort of the burgundy, almost purple, and the grey and the white. Looking really neat. Great painting on that white too. Excellent, nice work.
Good folds.
Yeah.
Mike Evans, this has been my most ambitious piece to date.
That's amazing. That's great work, Mike.
Good source lighting.
Yeah. The just awesome source lighting there. This is on a I think Mike showed this showed the base when he was painting that, and it's from Secret Weapon Miniatures, Shattered Ritual base range, which is fantastic for doing something like this. But yeah, just the way that green orb is glowing, and you can see the way it's catching different parts around the scene. So the little table, the barrel, the shelf. But over the other side, just the right there, because the wizard is in the way. It's not you're not seeing the green against those. Yeah,
I feel like he must have had to take a picture of that, right? And then paint it, like with a light.
Yeah, I think he might have. I'm not sure. Mike, you'll have to let us know. But it's certainly the way I would have done it first, was to put a light in that spot.
Because it looks really accurate.
Yeah.
To where the light source is. It looks great. Good job, Mike.
Awesome work. And
then we have Matt, with This Was My Weekend.
My weekend. Excellent. Mike.
Looks like a fun weekend.
Yep. Matt painted up some Imperial Guardsmen. This is a command squad for the Astra Militarum army for Warhammer 40,000. Matt's probably getting ready for 9th edition as well. But yeah, these are looking very cool. Some great combination of pieces in there. I love what were you going to say, Leona?
I like the light yellow detail, or this lighter green.
Yep.
Highlight. It's nice. It's sort of the trim, but it also kind of works as a highlight.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it looks good. I like the combination of parts that is used. The comms guy, with the antenna, he's got like a hand up towards his ear as if he's listening in, and then his las rifle is kind of slung over his shoulder, with his hand resting on it. He's really focused on his comms job. But yeah, looking good.
He's trying to do a good work.
He is trying to do good work. He is succeeding. Nice work, Matt.
We have Old Wolf Studios with Man of Steel.
Excellent. Nice work, Jeff. This is looking really good. I'm not sure what company makes this, but But no, just done a really nice job there. Can you zoom in on the chest? Excellent.
Here?
Yeah. Yeah. Just wanted to see the if the like underneath the desk, just gone for a gold kind of look.
Oh yeah.
So
I like that more than the yellow though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair.
I feel like it brings it to life a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is definitely the Henry Cavill kind of Superman. He's got that.
Can we get him on the show to paint himself in miniatures? I think that would be funny.
That would be funny.
Let's just do that. Let's just reach out to Leona's like sitting there from the production side, like.
Yeah. We could do that. It'd be awesome.
Does he have social media? Can we tag him?
He does. He does.
Join our painting show.
I'll send him a message. I have no shame. I message Mark him. I will just pop over there. Southern hospitality. That's what that's about.
Well, if we get if we do get him on, we'll have we can have Jeff on as well to talk about the mini while he's doing it.
Exactly. See, this is so good. And everyone's bored in quarantine. We can Zoom it. It's fine. This is what Hobby Hangouts is all about. He has a hobby and we like to hang out. It's cool.
If people in the chat want, what's his face? Henry
Cavill.
Henry Cavill. If you want him on the show,
You gotta reach out.
at least I will say at least 10 people need to comment that they want him on the show, and then I will make an attempt.
Make an attempt. Awesome.
Then and only then.
Excellent.
Poor Leona's gonna have to figure out who his agent is.
Yeah. But back to the mini for a second.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I love the metallic blue on the suit, but I also love the way that just on the very rich saturated blue and red against that very desaturated the desaturated browns and grays on the base.
Mm-hmm.
So the base is there, but it doesn't, and it grounds in, but it doesn't overwhelm at all.
Which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice work, Jeff. Cool.
Orion with finished my Invictor.
Finished my Invictor in the Invictus war suit, I think is something that's called. Games Workshop has a fascination for sort of human-shaped robots, and you guys seen the second Matrix or the third Matrix?
Oh,
The other, where they're in the they've got there's a suit that they're in defending Zion, and they have to get reloaded by guys running along with wheelbarrows of ammunition. This suit reminds me of that kind of setup, because sitting right in the middle there behind that roll cage is a Space Marine.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
But, yeah, so I'm not completely sold on the war suit just yet, but I think Orion's done a great job here. Really very, very cool sort of look. I like one of the things that I do like about it, though it's kind of funny, is the fist on the left hand, the left fist there. Sorry, yeah, the left of the model, right of our screen, and just on the leg next to it, there's you see that sort of black oblong. Just up a bit, up a bit, up a bit, up a bit further. There we go. Just a bit. Yeah, that thing there. That's a heavy bolter, which is normally like a crew served weapon. So normally somebody's sitting behind it going. But it can pull it off its hip there as a pistol, because it's so big. Yeah. So there's something very Transformerish about it as well.
Yeah.
It's cool. But as I said, Orion did a great job on the painting here, and
My favorite part of the mini is the slime acid at the bottom.
That's a very good texture and a very horrible in a good way color.
Yeah.
Like it's a horrible color. Where, like I would not want to step in that, but it's a very well painted color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, nice work.
Michael with Fantasy Elf Assassin from Hearsay Miniatures.
Heresy
Miniatures. Thank you.
No worries.
Hearsay
Miniatures. I heard about this model once.
I heard about a model once.
This looks fantastic.
Like this face is really good. You put the right amount of paint on there to make it look like an assassin.
She looks proud of her work.
Yeah, I'm excited by what I've just done by moving this head.
But her little pose too is so like, ooh.
Yeah, it definitely has a sass to it for sure.
That's my assassin noise.
Ooh, sounds like a Pillsbury Doughboy.
So sassy. But no, I love it, Michael. You've done a really nice job there. Again, looking at the suit.
Yeah.
With the
here we go.
That kind of that highlighting to give it a kind of a leathery feel. Oh, yeah, it looks really nice. I love that purple hair. Looks great. Nice work, Michael.
Yeah, it's nice, the bright color without like detracting from the rest of it.
Yep.
It fits. It's fantasy. Dwight with the Chosen.
Right, these Chosen. Yeah, they're from the Slaves to Darkness army for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And they're like, so in the Slaves to Darkness, they have a unit called the Chaos Warriors, who are very much like a mainstay of the army. The Chosen are the elite of the Chaos Warriors. So,
hence the Chosen.
The Chosen, yes, rather than the discarded or be forgotten. But no,
the not chosen.
The not chosen. The please try again. But no, these models look awesome. I think that pale blue for the armor looks really nice, and there's a really nice sort of yellow orangey kind of feel on those horns. That's just working well with the blue.
And it's nice you got that bronze color in there.
Yep.
Against the blue.
It's nice blue as well.
Blue and orange is always a good.
Yep.
But I like that it's different from the bone or some sort of yellow of the horns.
Yeah, it's good that it's different. It just keeps the eyes moving around. But yeah, nice work, Dwight. Looks great.
And we'll do one more. Rachel.
Excellent.
Painted up the Dragonborn Rogue from Dark Sword Miniatures.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's funny because the camera zoomed in, focused right on this pant leg, and I mean it looks great.
It does though. Those folds are just.
Yeah. No, Rachel's done an awesome job here. I think I just like every texture. I mean, we've spoken about texture before, and if you look at the sword and the sort of the loincloth, blue there, or the blue tunic, whatever it happens to be, they've got similar values in there. So they've got similar depths, and you've got those light highlights. But the way that they've been painted, the way that Rachel's painted them, they have a very different textural feel. So the loincloth definitely looks like a fabric. The sword definitely looks like metal. Those scales up on the shoulder of the Dragonborn look really cool as well. Just give that that sort of scaly glint. But yeah, nice work, Rachel. Done a great job here.
Yeah, they look very good.
Awesome.
So that will be it for today. If you'd like to have your miniature featured in our show, be sure to join the Painting Happy Little Minis Facebook group and post your miniatures there. Every Wednesday, I go in and collect the miniatures that have been posted for the week. And then also, if you're not on Facebook, feel free to tag Game Trade Media with your photo, and I will make sure to get it in there.
That's cool. Were most of those from the Facebook group?
Sorry, what was your question?
Were most of those from the Facebook group?
Yes.
Cool.
Mostly they are. What were you going to say, Gretchen?
In the chat, we have Kat going, Southern hospitality could quickly become stalking, and David goes, Gretchen are known for being sneaky gits, not as much for Southern hospitality.
Excellent.
That is very true. One of my questions last week that I came up with was, what would you put in a beginner mini painting kit?
Right.
I thought that would be interesting to talk about. Like if you had the ideal mini painting kit.
Color chart.
Oh, sorry. Paint-wise, do we have a restriction on the number of paints?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay.
Keep it, I guess, under 50.
I'm going to sit here and read all 50 of the paints.
Of the paints that you would choose. No, yeah, I was just interested what you guys would put in your miniature paint kit. So Gretchen said you would definitely want a color chart.
A color chart and the primary colors plus purple. Because everyone knows I hate mixing purple. Like a solid purple, a good solid purple. And also cyan, magenta, and a very neon yellow, because getting those saturations when you are mixing paints on your own can sometimes be very difficult. So I think having both the normal primary colors plus technically they're the computer printer primaries,
right,
that would be very helpful.
Right. I think that's good. Yep, I would have those, and I would have obviously a black and a white.
Yes.
I think with the purple, when you mentioned purple, Gretchen, I would probably I'd go for a bluish, a purple on the blue end and a purple on the red end. I'd sort of have those.
Very solid little purple.
Yeah.
Mike Becker says a quality brush.
Yep.
First and foremost. And that's what Kat agrees to. Good brushes.
Yep. Good brushes and lots of photos.
Yes.
I mean, when you say photos there, Kat, do you mean reference photos?
I think so.
Cool. Yep. Well, Jane says gold and silver and black and white. Definitely a good idea.
Mike says Reaper clear bright colors, white, black, mixing gray, and silver paint.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I definitely gray as well.
And then David says put a bottle of LA's Totally Awesome in the beginner kit. Elbow cough. I don't know what that's referencing.
I don't know either.
LA's Totally Awesome.
Let us know.
But
so
yeah,
we have most of the colors: gold, black, white, silver for metals, a color chart, reference photos. Photos showing highlighting, contrast, tone, and values.
Okay.
There's actually something that some of y'all might find.
Oh, it's a paint stripper. That's LA's Totally Awesome.
Okay.
We wouldn't go for that for a beginner's kit. We don't want to think that they are going to need to strip their paint. The intermediate kit.
I see what you did there.
It's the intermediate. But yeah.
But something
that's what I need right now. I hate how this is coming out.
No.
What were you gonna say, Gretchen?
There's actually on Twitter, there's I'll figure out what the handle of it is, but there's a handle on Twitter that just constantly retweets reference poses that are done in a 3D like art program. So it's just faceless model people, but they choose a pose and then they 360 the pose with different light sources.
Okay.
Which, if you could find the pose or something similar to, might be really helpful for some people.
Right.
With that thing.
I think a good brush soap probably should be in a beginner's kit because I feel like people forget about
Caring for your brushes.
cleaning the brushes, right?
What? I don't even clean my makeup brushes.
Yeah, I think
No?
I'd probably move. I probably wouldn't worry about it for a beginner kit.
Should we give them a cup?
A cup? Sure. Yeah. Give them the cup to put some water in.
Dave is feeling generous.
Dave will give them a piece of paper and say,
gonna
roll it.
That they had.
Make it work. Dave's gonna give them like the 3 primaries, single paintbrush, and Dixie cup. Be like, go for it.
Not even any water, just the Dixie cup.
Use your spit like a real painter.
Oh. That's what I was going to say as well. But no, I think that's a good mix of stuff. James suggests at least 1 miniature, maybe 3 to 4. So I think, yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to sort of what's the purpose and what's the context of it. Is it just like you're going to be boxing these up and driving down the street and throwing them to people randomly? Or is it people who are interested get to sign up online or come to a show and pick them up from something where they can interact with somebody? Yeah. Depending on which way you're going to go with that, you can have some sort of instructional booklet or list of YouTube channels.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
That'd be smart.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't give them... Do you think like there are too many paint... Like you can start people off with too many paints?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's important to learn how paints interact as you go, because it can be very overwhelming to just have all of these colors to go with without really knowing how they can affect each other. And I think having a much more limited palette at first enables you to learn that more efficiently as you go along. But I'm always a fan of breaking the rules once you know them. So,
I think one of the things about, because we haven't mentioned about putting in greens or oranges. You mentioned purple because purples are bad to mix. But I think the idea of teaching somebody or helping somebody know that mixing paints is an important part of it, or can be an important part, is important. Can be an important part. It is important. But,
yeah, no. You meant like it's part of the process. You're gonna want to mix paints.
Yeah, and if you're comfortable mixing paints later on, you'll be able to do much more. Whereas if you start off with a system that is just like this base color, this highlight, this wash, and you only paint that way, you're gonna get a little. You might be worried, or you might not want to try a different approach later on.
Gotcha.
So that's my thinking there.
From YouTube, 𝙂𝙖𝙢𝙤 says, "I love my brush soap. We love our brush soap too."
Yep.
If you love it so much, why are you married?
Sure.
Yeah.
I definitely clean my brushes.
Gretchen does not love her brush soap.
Yeah.
Should I?
Kat said to make them a large mini, easier to hold and see and paint.
Yep.
Chris recommends some primer.
Right.
For a kit, if you were to put some in there.
Yep.
And a Oh, Roger Moore had a question. Citadel paints in particular, paints that are considered bases, should you always start with those, then use the one that are layers? Curious, or does it not matter?
To be honest, it doesn't really matter. The base paints are formulated so they have they've got more pigment in them, so they cover black or darker primers more easily. And over a light primer, they give you a smoother coat easily. And I think in the range, basically all of the base colors are a little bit darker or a little bit more desaturated, so they work as that base coat. I am a big fan of a base coat called Avaland Sunset. Oh, there we go. So I'm a big fan of that, mainly because it's a really nice, good base solid base for yellow. When I've used it on the sort of the jerry can there.
Oh yeah.
And the base coat for it, the base of that can, was a mix of this base and where is it? There it is. Vallejo's red leather. There we go, red leather. So those give you a really nice sort of deeper orange, like brownish orange, which is perfect as a shade. So that's a way you can use the base colors mixed with something else to do something else with it. But yeah, you don't have to use them first or last, or you can use them whenever you like.
Gotcha.
But when I talk about like a structured system, they have that structured system. This is the base coat, then put a wash on, then layer on your highlights using the layer paints, and then edge highlighting with the edge paints, that kind of thing. So the edge paints typically are a lot lighter.
Okay.
The final stages, and then the layers are in the middle, kind of thing.
Gotcha. So it's a way to kind of break down the painting process, but they do it within the bottles.
Yeah, to make it quite formulaic. So do this, and you will achieve this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a process that gives you a very consistent result. I like doing that sometimes, but I also like the ability, knowing that if I want to, I can mix in something else and I'll know what color it gives me. Yeah,
it's a little less flexible with that process.
Yeah, that process is fairly inflexible, and you can always change out paints within it.
Mm-hmm.
They set up so there's really no mixing that needs to be done.
Gotcha. Which we did just say there is an advantage to trying mixing.
You can mix.
Kat had said, in terms of mixing, my biggest problem in terrain painting is that I mix almost all my colors, but too often I can rarely duplicate. Do you have any tips for that?
Writing down.
Yep, you can write things down when you're doing the mix. Do it, like in ratios that you can record, or if you find a color that you know that you're going to want to use again, or a mix that you want to use again, get buy some empty bottles, paint bottles, and put that mix in that ratio into that bottle, so that you can come back and just go, okay, cool, this is my concrete wall base coat, this is my concrete wall wash, this is my concrete wall highlight, that kind of thing. That way you can at least spread that out a little bit more. And you don't just write concrete wall mix, you write concrete wall mix and the things that go in it, so that when you run out, you know how to refill it.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That's cool. I didn't even think about, if you write it on the side, you could like pour in certain amounts with the levels if you really got into it. Kind of like mixing food. Right.
Or cocktails.
Always bringing it back there, Dave.
Day drinking again. Okay. Just kidding.
Ryan said it's definitely learning to mix paints is definitely a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Also, hello, Ryan. Thank you for joining.
One of the cool things about spending that time learning to mix paints is I think you get a better appreciation for the other hues that are within paints. And obviously I talk a lot about charred brown. If you watch the show at all, I probably mention it 2 or 3 times a show. So charred brown is great because it has a lot of I like it a lot because it has purple in it as well as gray. And so it can be used in a lot of different sort of situations. Something like beige brown has quite a bit of yellow, but it's got tinges of green in it as well. And if you're stuck, you can start to mix other colors to try to get towards that. Or if you're looking to create a particular effect with a color that you like, and you know what is contained in there, you know how to work it out. Okay, so this has got greens in it. How a green shade's going to work with that, or how it's going to work if I take this towards a red. How it's going to affect it.
And you might not understand that as much unless you're mixing those paints.
Yeah,
yourself.
It's a lot of it's going to be trial and error. I just thought, considering Chris is in the chat with us, Chris Layfield, the step-by-step process that she has is good for it helps people build confidence if they don't if they might have color blindness. They know that they want it to look a particular way. They get an end result, and these are the steps that will get that end result with these paints. That's an advantage I hadn't thought about before. So that's
a new idea. Just send Dave for a week.
Yep.
to paint all of this stuff.
I'm not going to paint all the stuff for them. I'll teach them how to paint.
Chris had also recommended a paint diary.
Good idea, Chris.
Don't write down your feelings. Write down your paint recipes.
Yeah. You can write down how you feel about your paint recipes.
Wait, that would be so funny.
Best silver ever.
The best purple, the evil purple.
The gold standard of silvers. Things like that.
Today I felt when I mixed.
I felt a bit blue.
Thomas also said index cards for formulas and examples, basically like a paint diary. Also on Twitch, recipe cards, and one for the mini.
Yep. These are things to include in the
in the miniature paint. Yeah, even to include a painter's diary or some sort of thing like that. Chris had mentioned nothing is scarier to do a colorblind painter than mixing colors. So you have to record the paint mix and where you've used it and precisely, or you'll never get it again.
Yep.
Which you had mentioned. Yeah.
Yep. All good.
Kind of funny. Oh, some key says a paint diary would be just filled with mixed feelings.
Fantastic. Thank you.
That is incredible.
Good.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So actually, we are coming towards the end of our show.
Oh, no. Do we have some to look at, or?
We do have some more minis to look at if you want to look through them quickly.
How about we squeeze in 4 or 5?
Are you ready for speed?
Speed appreciation.
Speed. I am speed. Cars reference. It's all good, guys.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. We have Kevin with the Lion Queen.
Lion's Queen. Excellent. I think the thing I love about this one is Kevin's been super neat with everything. So basically everything, the paint stops where it's supposed to stop, starts again where it's supposed to start. So I think that's
the skin, yeah, and the cloth.
Yeah, basically, yeah, the skin cloth transitions there, and even the on the jewelry, the torque on the arms, and the bracelet there. But no, Kevin's done a beautiful job there. I think nice simple shading but yeah, the neatness is super crisp. So awesome work there, Kevin.
Yeah, it looks really great. Very readable from far away.
Yep.
Dave with the first success at non-metallic metals. So quite pleased.
Yep.
Very good.
It was yeah. So there's some pretty amazing, and so this is the when Tony Stark snaps, and yeah, can you zoom in a bit?
Yeah.
Right.
Where would you like?
Probably so we can see his legs.
Okay.
So we focus on the non-metallic metal.
Yep.
And yeah, it's got just a great looking gold there. From here, it certainly looks like it's a metallic paint. He's done a fantastic job. I think probably the only thing that I would intend to do from here. I don't know, this was sort of the first time getting this sort of detail on it, but the red of the rest of his suit is going to be a very dominant reflected color. So putting in some a little bit of red along those the edges where the thighs meet his pelvis, so along that there. So you see how the gold curves over just along that ridge there. Reflected red would be great. In that the underarm on his left arm there, under there a little bit of red punched in there would be awesome. But honestly, this is a really cool job. I think Dave's done a beautiful piece of work.
Yeah, no, I like it. I agree. Like that reflection will just push that, but I mean, it's really great with how it looks.
Yeah, looks spectacular.
Awesome job.
Great work, Dave.
We have Jason with the Hordes model.
Cool.
I tried to get a good. So yeah, there's two guys, and then it's this creature.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. I'm not sure what the creature reminds me of, but the two models on the back feel like a mix of the Jawa and Tusken Raiders.
Yes.
They've got the long rifles and they feel quite short. But maybe that's just because of the shape of the creature. But no, it looks very cool. I love the coloration on the skin of the creature. I'm guessing that's the sort of the neck coming forward there and the head. That face looks kind of grinchy.
Yeah.
Or like the Who's of Whoville or whatever. But no, I think it looks great. I love those colors. So through there. Nice job.
All right, we'll do one more mini. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Yep.
William. Finished Spectral Zombicide. And apparently had more to paint.
Yeah, that's a lot of models. But zombies and are there ghosts through there as well? Is that the
yeah.
Zombicide?
These are ghosts.
Yeah. No, it looks great. I think you can definitely tell it's a collection of models that are going to look fantastic on the board. Especially ending up with all of these swarming towards your party as you're trying to escape.
Help me!
Yep. Birds.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize he has the boxes in the background.
All right.
I believe that these are what is on the.
Oh, they're the. I think what they typically do is get a couple of guest artists to do concept art. So on the right there, it looks like Adrian Smith. Oh, yep. There we go, Adrian Smith. There's a couple others in there.
Yep, sorry, I covered them up.
Good work. Good work. Winner! But yeah, no, great work, William.
Yeah, they look really great from the sort of aerial shot that we have.
Yeah.
Normally we look at minis one by one, so it's kind of nice to
it's great to get that impact, isn't it? So when you've got a horde like that. Yeah. Awesome work.
Great work, guys. Thank you guys for posting. Continue to post and send them things our way. And thank you all for watching and being part of the conversation and helping us figure out what we would put in our beginner minis kit. Did we ever figure out a name on your dragon, Gretchen?
I think that the most votes were still for, I was about to say Esmeralda.
Emeraldo.
Emeraldo. Yes.
That was my idea. I'm always down for that.
Awesome.
So yeah, thank you all. Thank you to everyone who has been watching. Thank you to Dave and Gretchen for joining Hobby Hangout and painting today. And if you guys are interested in miniature painting, want to learn more, want to share your enjoyment in the hobby, be sure to head over to Facebook and join the Painting Happy Little Minis group. All you have to do is say join, and then one of us will let you be part of the fun, which it is very fun to see what people have been doing. Make sure that you follow Game Trade Media, and so that you can get the notifications of when we go live. We go live every Thursday and at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we also have been doing some other game stuff as well. Yes, Dave.
Sorry, just want to interrupt for a sec. I just spotted something in the chat that needs to be mentioned. Thomas Roach. Thomas worked on a book called The Necronom.
Oh.
It's a horror-themed cookbook.
It's a cookbook that I cooked things from and brought on the show.
Awesome.
And may or may not have also sent in recipes for.
Excellent. But he says that there'll be a cocktail, Necronom cocktail book by the end of the year. So that's gonna be awesome to see. Looking forward to
that should be fun. Then maybe on the show we can enjoy our own cocktails from the recipe book. No, it's all good.
Hey, drinking again.
Oh yeah, Dave Moffat tells me not to forget to contact Henry Cavill. Don't worry, I will. Or Gretchen will.
Yep.
Excuse me, Mr. Cavill.
Excuse me, sir. So yeah, thank you guys for joining and being part of the conversation. It's always fun to hear what people are doing and what you're painting. And be sure to tune in next week. We will be going live and painting some more dragons. I'm going to try more non-metallic metal. I definitely think I need to pick up some of that paint stripper, though.
No! Yeah, I'm having a time here trying to get this following my little...
It is difficult.
Just paint over it.
Yeah, I'll just paint over it. But other than that, we are signing off, and we will see you guys all next week. Bye!
Bye!